Hello, hello. All right, let's check this and let some people get into the room. We have one viewer. Testing, testing. Can you hear that guitar all right? Just checking here in the group to make sure we're all set. Three viewers. Guys, go ahead and leave a comment if you can hear everything all right. 4 viewers. All right, we're rocking and rolling now. Awesome. All right. We're working. All right, cool. And you can see everything in the groups, or is there another link that we need to provide here? It should be showing through the groups right now. Thank you, Scott. Oh, there you go. All right, I can see the likes, I can see the comments. I'm ready to play some riffs. Okay, so we're not seeing it on the group. No problem. It's connected. Let's just troubleshoot that real quick to make sure everybody can watch. Yeah, I have the both Spark Amp Lovers and Owners Group are live. So not sure why it is only showing up in the one group. Give everyone a minute to trickle in. I'm just going to play a little bit, and then we'll kick it off and get started. Hey everyone, what's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Not sure where everyone's at. Yeah, feel free to link it up. If you can't, it's all good. If we get some anonymous comments, that's cool. This is my first time streaming with StreamYard, so glad everything's working here. Well, what do you think, Scotty? Do you think we're good to kick it off, or do we need to give it a couple more minutes for people to get into the room? Yep, I can see the comment. All right, welcome, guys. We're talking all about cab today. We're just hanging out, playing with cab today. I'm excited because I just got back from a trip, doing a lot of content and stuff. You might recognize me from the Positive Grid social media channels. I'm a guitarist and content creator, Dre DeMira, and I have a early unit here of a sneak peek of the Spark Cab. I just got back from a trip. Haven't been able to plug in and play in a hot minute. I had my Mini on the trip, but I haven't been able to turn it up and crank it like in hotels and stuff like that. So it's good to be home and plug into the cab and play. It's a super fun unit. I'm really excited about it. Love the way it sounds. It's super light, super portable. So yeah, we're gonna just get like a first look at it. And you know, a lot of the content that's come out obviously is you know, we have the commercial and the walkthrough and stuff to kick things off. But I just wanted to, like, you know, this audio is coming straight out of the cab, going into my Mac, into StreamYard, so you can just get an idea how it might sound in the room. I have the Mini with the app set up. The volume on the cab right now, the volume on the cab is at 2.5. I don't know how that's translating through Facebook here, but yeah, so the volume on Minis may be up at like 3 or 4, and the cab's at 2.5. So I'm not going to blast it the whole time, just out of, you know, to protect my own hearing here. But I will dial it up right now for a second so you can hear just how loud it could get even at like 12 o'clock. So yeah, let's see. That was just around 12 o'clock on the cab. I do have a dB meter actually on my my other device. I can pull that up. Hang on. Let me see if I still have it. Let's see. Yeah, so at 2.5 on the cab, we're averaging 93 dB from a few feet away here. That was at 2.5. Let's crank it back up to 12 o'clock again and see what we can get on the dB meter. So the max output's going to be 120, which is really loud. That's you know, competitive with most on-stage amps that you would use at a gig, like a tube or even a solid state amp, hitting around 115. You know, the noise limit on a lot of like amphitheater and arena shows for the entire concert from front of house is like 100 to 110 dB. So this is about as loud as like a full rock band would be on stage if you were to crank it up all the way. So let's see how high we can get on the dB meter. I like this game. Okay, so here it is from the same distance at 12 o'clock. Yeah, so there it's peaking at 100.7. I don't want to turn it up much more than that, but you know what? Let's see what happens if I just put it over here and crank it up to 10. If you have headphones, you might want to turn it down. Uh-huh. Yeah, so that just peaked at 111.7, and that was with the cab turned up to 10 and the volume on the mini at 12 o'clock. So there was even a little, let me see. Yep, 12 o'clock. So there's even some more juice in there, for sure. So it definitely gets loud, but not at the expense of the sound quality either. It sounds great. Yeah, I do have pretty decent neighbors. Thanks for looking out. They get it, you know. It's always good when you move into a new place. You're like, hey guys, I'm a musician, just so you know. But yeah, it sounds awesome. I got a big grin on my face because, like I said, I've been traveling for a content trip. Haven't had the opportunity to just like plug in and crank up an amp and jam. So this is fun. So we'll do questions and stuff. Feel free to leave any questions you have in the comments here, and then I'll answer as many as I can. Why don't we just go through the default Spark app presets and hear how they sound with the cab? Let's do that. So I'm on the lead or the solo now, but let's go down the rhythm here. That's a clean tone. Here's the AC boost. Here's the lead, or the solo rather. And the insane tone. Actually, I might have customized this one with like a phaser. So those are the presets. It sounds great. It amps your amp. They say like it makes obviously the Spark a lot louder, but it also sounds really good. Like I already love the sound of the Spark, and this just like even like pushes it up a notch. I love the way it sounds with the cab. There's no performance difference between or I can click these, right? Let's see. Cool. Clinton asked if there's any performance differences between the different Spark models. No, there's not, but this might be a good opportunity to show you what comes in the box. So when you get the cab, you're going to get this accessories box as well. So right now I'm connected with the Spark dedicated input, which is for Mini and Go. It's this 3.5 millimeter braided cable here. That'll come in the accessories pouch. You connect that right to the back of the cabinet. We'll show the back of the cabinet as well in a little bit. But that's connected with the Spark dedicated input. And then for 40, you have a separate cable to connect the 40 to the cab. And one of the coolest things as well is that you will, if you have the charging cable from your Mini or Go, you can connect it to the cabinet to power it off the cabinet. So you don't have to worry if you didn't charge it up before the gig or the rehearsal or whatever it might be. So yeah, in the accessories pouch, you're going to get the 3.5 millimeter spark input, the 40 adapter, and then the power cable for the cabinet. So everything you need to connect any of the sparks to cab and to power the cab. We've gotten a lot of questions about the Pearl Edition. So there's no plans for Pearl Edition right now, but that may change based on how quickly the Black Edition moves and also the demand. So we see the comments, all the comments, and it's helpful for us, when you guys chime in and share your thoughts and feelings and stuff, so we get a better idea of like where you're at and what we can do to keep making great stuff. So let's get that one out of the way. Someone asked about 40, feeling if the sound quality is better. It sounds good at volume practicing level. Yeah, so you don't have to crank it up all the way. There's also a contour switch on the back, which will sculpt the bass frequencies when you're playing at a lower volume. So you can still, like I said, I'm on about 2.5 right now. And it feels pretty good. Like I'm about 1.5 feet away from the cabinet. It's not hurting my ears or anything. So I think this would probably be a pretty safe level to practice. And there's no real difference in the quality of the sound or between the different sparks. Someone asked, let's see. So the cabinet will sum to mono, which is pretty typical. You can chain multiple cabinets together. They are stackable, which is a cool feature. Someone asked how it sounds with a jam playback. We'll jam along to a backing track in a sec. Let me just grab 1 or 2 more comments, and then we'll play some more. So Scott asked about the Spark input. Does it have some sort of text stopping the headphone out volume of the 40, damaging it? So I'm a little confused by the question. Do you mean with the 40 you connect with you can power with this guy, and then the dedicated input on the back shouldn't damage your 40? No, there's no fear of that. Does it work directly with guitar multi-effects? Yes, it does. I was going to grab a modeler as well today, but I don't think we'll have the time just to show you how that might work. But again, when we look at the back, I'll do a rundown for everyone. But you can connect other units that have a line level out to the XLR inputs, stereo inputs, or the 1/4 inch on the back. So anything that has a line level out, even like an electronic drum set, you could connect. You could connect like a preamp pedal, any sort of modeler, digital rack unit. So there's a lot of possibilities with this cabinet, which I think is great value and like for the functionality too. Okay, Scott, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so that's been addressed on the technical side. There's nothing to worry about there, as far as the 40 and Mini and Go differing slightly in that way. Nothing to worry about. Cool. Yeah. So someone asked how it sounds with a jam playback. So I'm going to pull up a backing track in the Spark app. We had an event that we posted about on Instagram in Los Angeles last week, where a lot of musicians and content creators got together and jammed with Cab for the first time, and it went super well. And one of the coolest things when I went to the event was seeing people dial in the backing tracks and play through the Cab, and being blown away by how good it sounded, especially for just like practicing and jamming and having fun with music. Because I used to do this, with let's see. I used to do this with, I would have like speakers plus like a half stack and everything else set up in my studio or like my basement, and I would be like blasting backing tracks while I was trying to I gotta log back in. I would be like blasting backing tracks while I was trying to play along through my amp and everything, and I just remember it being like such a total pain trying to balance the levels, and like if only there was a way to do it all at the same time. Then there you go. All right, I'm just going to connect to audio. There you go. Spark Mini. I am connected. Let's get a backing track. Does anyone have any more questions you want to throw in that I can answer while I get this set up? Are the questions on Facebook, Scott, or do we have the questions here? If we have the Spark 40 set up with a battery, will the cab allow us to use the whole rig without power, just using the battery? So the cab will need to be powered. The cab will need to be powered, but the cab can power any of the Spark units. So I don't know if that answers your question, but you will not need to worry about powering 2 units separately. Cool. Let's dial up some presets. I'm just going to pull some stuff out of the tone cloud. So we can hear some different things. Just roll through some sounds. Everyone's favorite default preset, or rather tone cloud preset. It's almost like a default preset at this point. The Metallica tread plate. Oh yeah. Sounds awesome. Let's hear a couple more. Here, we'll do Bend the Fend. Yeah. The comparison of the plugged-in cab versus unplugged. Can you elaborate what you mean there? The cab is connected with an IEC power cable, so there's no battery for the cab. And no, there's no difference with the quality between the different sparks. But what the cab really does is it adds a lot of headroom to the sound that you're always used to, you're always getting with your smaller Spark amps. So there's like a ton of extra headroom that really like elevates the sound, and it sounds incredible. Yeah. So the cab is it's 30 pounds, which is like 16 kilograms, I think. Oh, you're saying A being the mini and the cab. Yeah, we can do that in a sec here. So there's a group question. Can you use the 40 and the cab at the same time for a mega rig? I love that. So like a traditional head and cabinet combination, the head itself will have no output, right? It bypasses the output on the the speaker stage on the Spark, and it runs into the cabinet. But it's plenty loud. It would almost be redundant to have the speakers engaged on both this mini and the cabinet at the same time. Yeah, I'm sure we can do a demo of stacking cabinets a little further down the line. Obviously, these advanced units are in short supply. I'm fortunate to have one to jam with today. So soon, though, maybe we'll do we'll do like an Ingve wall of like 6 cabs. Yeah, so I want to address the question about the wattage, not necessarily exactly why it was chosen, but just, wattage and how that equates to volume. I think there's a lot of maybe just confusion about, wattage equating to volume. I know there's like other units that have, some 2,000 watts or something like that. So, watts is measuring output power, right? Not necessarily the maximum output in dB. So it's only a marginal difference that you actually see between a unit that has 2,000 watts versus a unit like this that's coming in at 140. But it's super efficient, and it's also like the profile on the cabinet is really slight and portable, which is part of the engineering that goes into it. So yeah, I am going to actually switch over to bass to answer this question from the group. Or actually first, quickly, I want to do this, but let's switch over to bass, and then we can do the A-B between the mini and the cabinet. Scott, these are great questions. Thank you. Keep them coming. Before I switch over to bass, I'll answer this one real quick. Anything with a line level out. So if the question is, can I use it with blank? If it has a line level out, you can use it with an FR powered cab. I know there's even some users in the mod group that are figuring out a way to use bias effects too with the cabinet. I'm excited to see what comes of that. So let's try it out with bass. I was most blown away at the meetup event how good it sounded with bass. Switch over. I'm gonna dial in a bass tone cloud preset first to avoid shredding on the bass here. Let's do this one. We'll do 1966 bass. want to get a cleaner one so that you can really hear quality. Let's see. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's switched back. The amp peg. Yeah. All right. How does that sound on your end, guys? I'm loving the way it sounds with bass. At the event, there was a 5-string bass player that plugged in, and an Ando guitarist that appears in a lot of the PG content with the 8-string guitar, extended range, playing through the cabinet. And I was, blown away by the bass response and the quality with bass. I want to address this comment quickly. We hear you, and that's all I have for now on a looper. It's always the elephant in the room, and I love it. Yeah, so what do you guys think of the sound with the bass? The technology behind the bass frequencies is really, really cool too. That might be a conversation for a separate TikTok or something. But the way that modeling technology is developed to replicate bass is really cool. So I'm going to answer the first part of this one about buying additional cables. No, other than your 1/4-inch instrument cable to connect your guitar bass. The Spark cab, provided you also have a Spark, will come with everything you need. Like I said, the accessories box will have the dedicated 3.5 millimeter Spark input, the 40 power, as well as the IEC power cable that you need for the cabinet. And yes, it is the room sound. This is just the cab through a mini, or powered by a mini rather, with the bass or guitar going in. I don't have any microphones set up or anything. This is just off of a MacBook Pro. Yeah, so like I said, the cab has a lot of additional headroom, so you can really push the Spark a lot harder through the cab and elevate the tone in a big way. So like you can hear with the bass, like really expanding on the tone and even like the harmonics that I'm hearing from the cab, just because it has so much more breathing room, based on the hardware configuration, is like really pleasant. Like it really elevates the tone of the Spark and these bass presets for me. Cool. So now we can A/B the if that's enough bass. I don't know if anyone wanted to hear more bass. I love playing bass, so I might just keep playing bass. Now I'll switch back to guitar. Yeah, why don't we throw in an acoustic actually, and then we can compare the sound just from the Mini to the sound with the cab, and then I can show you guys the back of the cabinet, and then maybe we'll do a little jam out. Cool. All right, I'm going to switch over to an acoustic here. I only have a limited number of guitar stands, so I'm going to have to scoot behind and grab the acoustic. This is a great question from the group. Do the volume and gain controls on the amp still work, or does it fall solely to the cab's controls? Yes, they still work. So you'll be able to control volume and gain from the app, the Spark you're using, or whatever unit you're using, and the cabinet itself. So kind of what I've taken to doing is just, having the guitar volume on the, I'm catching a reflection. The guitar volume on the Spark or the Mini or the Go is having it, at like 4 o'clock, or sorry, not 4 o'clock, having it at 12 o'clock position, and then bringing up the volume on the cab. So keeping the volume on my presets and the Spark at like a pretty neutral level, and then bringing up the volume on the cab, just so I have additional headroom. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. Let's hear it with an acoustic. Didn't plan on this, but I'm excited to plug it in and do it. I think I have a battery in here. Let's hope. All right, we'll dial up an acoustic preset. Let's see. Acoustic. Grunge acoustic. We'll start with clean. Start with the clean acoustic for now. All right, cool. I'm going to throw this banner up just to remind everyone. The limited edition pre-order pricing is $269. So if you haven't pre-ordered yet, don't miss out. It's a great price for a great cabinet. All right. Cool. We have life. Yeah, absolutely. Right after we hear it with acoustic, I'm going to show you the back of the unit, and I'll show you the relative size and weight of the unit as well. All right. That's a clean acoustic preset. My acoustic is pretty bright, so I'm going to cycle through a couple other presets as well. We'll do the Nothing Else Matters acoustic. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Try one more. Let's do fingerstyle reverb. Oh, I knocked my cable out. All right, let's look at the back of the unit now. Actually, I've been noodling on the acoustic for a while. It's easy to get carried away. All right. Cool, let's take a look at the back. I got so many guitars here. I'm just going to swap this one out. Scott says, I'm jealous of the cab. Oh, the Schecter. Oh, which one? The bass or the guitars? I have probably about eight Schecters here. I'll do a live stream of a guitar collection. Today's all about cab. But we could do a separate one. Okay, cool. So I'm going to just switch over a couple things here, guys. We'll take a couple more questions. I know everyone really wants to see the back. There's a lot of questions about the connections and the inputs and things like that. So I just want to give you a run through of it because it's pretty comprehensive and there's a lot of functionality with it. All right. Let me see. Cool. All right. Oh, how does it sound with the drop tuning? You just keep the great questions coming, so I have to keep pivoting. You know, everyone always asks, can it gent or can it chug? And I feel like that calls for some Meshuggah. It can definitely chug. Yeah, so this is a drop D. Yeah, definitely gents. I love the electric guitar. This is a great instrument. Sounds awesome through this cab. All right, let's check out the back. All right, let's see. Make sure I'm not going to yank anything out here. Oh! Here is the back of the cab. All right, let me get the light here. Make sure we can see it. Okay. Oh, thank you. This one. Oh, yeah, no worries. So, here you go. So you have to click the link in the live stream's post to comment so that I can see it. And you have to authorize it for StreamYard or else it'll come up as an anonymous user. I can see your comments, Rich, if you, it looks like it's working. All right, cool. So yeah, this is the rig that I'm doing the stream through, everything I've been playing so far. So here is the Mini. Here's the cab. So let me. Can you see that all right, or do I need to zoom in any more? I have it on the box here. I'm gonna get it real close because I want you guys to be able to see the. There you go. I want you guys to be able to see the panel on the back. Yeah. So right now I have the Spark Mini connected with the 3.5 millimeter cable that'll come with your cab. And that goes into the Spark input here. And then there's a switch to select between the Spark input and the XLR and 1/4 inch inputs on the back. And there's some confusion at first that this was for a microphone. But what it's actually for other units, like I said, with line level out. So we have inputs 1 and 2. Switch back to the Spark there. And then this loop here is for the cable. So, so it doesn't get in the way, especially if you were, running multiple outs or you had multiple ins or you were powering, your unit through the cab here. There's a lot of clutter. So this strap is for putting the cable management situation there. So there you go. Clean it up. Now I have access to these controls. No, you have to switch between the 3.5 millimeter or the XLRs. And then we have the speaker volume and the line out volume. These are independent. The line out volume doesn't control the volume coming out of the speaker. Power switch on the bottom here. Power. There's a ground lift switch to alleviate any unwanted humming or buzzing. If you have an issue with, whatever outlet, you're plugged into. And then the contour switch on the back. This is for helping shape the bass frequencies at a lower volume. So I'm actually, let me play with, let me show you how the contour switch sounds, guys. Clean up the tone though. I know it's pointing away from the camera now, but you should be able to still hear it in the room. Yes, it can be daisy chained for a full Spark stack. You can connect multiple cabinets together, which is pretty rad. So this is the contour switch here. If I crank it up, contour it. No contour. So a lot of versatility there. make sure I don't miss any comments here. Yeah, and then the last thing worth pointing out is, like I mentioned earlier, the ability to power or charge your Spark unit is with your USB-C. So your USB-C cable goes into the back, charge out, and then you have your USB on the back of the Spark Mini. And then for 40, it's going to use the DC power that you'll get also in the box. So no need to buy any additional cables. If you're using a Spark 40, then you'll be able to power it with this adapter, which again, go there, and then I'd be able to plug it into the 40. Any other questions about the back of the unit? I'll do my best to answer them if I can. I'm just going to take a drink of water, guys. Is everyone excited? So because you have the input output, you can daisy chain multiple cabinets here. So you would just need, either the XLR that you would need to connect them. So we're getting a lot of questions about the mud coming from the 40. And I think the 40 sounds great, but it is worth mentioning that the cab does provide a lot of additional headroom as far as, pushing one of the smaller units. You're going to get a lot of extra headroom out of the cabinet, like a lot, considerable amount of headroom and extra dynamics for elevating the tone. So it's a great extension to any Spark, not just because of the functionality of it, being able to use it at a rehearsal or on a gig or, for practice or whatever it may be, but also just for like how dang good it sounds. Yes, this is a great question, actually. If I had my Spark 40 hooked into my PC to use my PC to play YouTube and record, I'm assuming that will just go through the cab as well. Yes, it will function just similarly to the way that your unit would function if you were using it, as long as you had this set up as an output, as the output versus like external monitors or speaker. Okay. Cool. All right. We had another question to demo low to max volume for guitar. And then I said that I would stand next to it as well. So let's do that. I'm going to do those last two questions and then we might be up on time, but let's take a look at it. So yeah, there is recessed handles on the side, on both sides to pick it up. And it's, I said, about 30 pounds, which is like 16 kilograms. So this is with Mini on top of it. I could pick it up pretty easy. It's not hard to transport. It's, it weighs less than a case of water bottles. Just about the same amount as like a case of water that you'd get at the store. So I'll show you the relative size as well. And better than me standing next to it, let me pull out here the angle and then have the guitar next to it. So this is a normal scale, like a standard scale, less style guitar. Or let me get rid of this comment so you can see better. So this is a standard style scale, less style guitar. You can see the cab comes to about the 10th fret from the base of the body, the Mini on top It's about this tall. So super compact and portable. Let me show you also the relative size on the side. So here it is, the width of it. So here it is compared to a less style body. All right. So let's now A/B the volume levels. All right, wait, this one. I'm tempted to put earplugs in for this one. This is going to be a very short-lived demo. It's only going to happen once here, so let's pay attention. So let's first. So I'm going to keep the volume on the Mini is going to go all the way up, and I'm going to turn the volume on the cabinet all the way down. So, yeah, no problem, Clinton. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful so far. Let's do the last question here, and demo just how loud this thing can get. I feel like this is a great way to go out. We're up on time here. It's 1 Eastern US. I know everyone's all over the world here, so I don't know if you stayed up late or if you got up early to watch this, but appreciate everyone tuning in to watch. Cool. And yeah, feel free to keep posting your thoughts and comments in the groups on Facebook. Positive Grid does monitor those groups and participate in those groups. So, it's really valuable feedback, and love everyone's thoughts and support. So want to thank you guys for that. All right, cool. So here we go. From the low to max volume for the guitar on the cabinet. Plug in and get loud. I'm gonna go behind it to avoid any tinnitus. Okay, so here we're at the lowest volume. This is with it at 1. All right, let's crank it up. Now it's on about 2. Well, let's see how loud they let it get. Here we go. This is on 5 o'clock now, and my floor is shaking. All right, and here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. Everything's on 10. Putting these in-ears on. And that's it. And now the cops get called. Okay. Yeah, so that was on 11. I hope that puts to rest any doubts about how loud the Spark Cab can get, because that was cooking. I love it. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Scott and Florent, the group admins, for helping to facilitate this and make it possible. I hope it was helpful and entertaining. Getting a run through Cab for the first time. It's super cool, super fun to play through. Can't say enough good things about it. And I can't wait for you guys to get it into your hands to play with it and amp that amp. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and appreciate the support. We're going to end it now, and we'll be back with more updates soon. Don't miss out on the limited time pre-order price. Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you guys so much. See you later.